Hello, and welcome, to my sweaty head. Welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name's Jason Newland. This is Vinny, a grumpy little dog. Look at him. He's grumpy because when I put this shirt on, he thought that we were going OUT for a walk, but we're not. I mean, if I say the word walk, it's like saying the word treat. His eyes lighten up. Do you want a treat? It's like, see, his ears. What? But I've just given him 4 treats just now, and he's left them all on the floor. He's grumpy. Why are you so grumpy? Hey? Why are you so grumpy? Why are you grumpy, Vinny? Why are you grumpy? Come on. Oh, he doesn't want to. You don't want to be here, do you? Come on. Look. Say hello to everyone. Say hello. 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 No? What were you doing? Alright, go then. See you then. Bye. Bye. Up to him. He's annoyed with me. He's staring at me and he can't get to me because this little table, it's hot in here. I've got this light on and it's proper hot. It's this little table that I have at the side of the settee and he can't get through it. And he wants me to take him to the park to chase a ball. Oh, he's okay now. Now he's sitting at my feet and he's eating his bone. So, hey. And relax. So, hello. Hope you're well. Please only listen to this when you can safely close your eyes. And my main website's jasonnewland.com, which is back online. It was offline for a few days. I've also got a website for the Let Me Bore You to Sleep, this podcast. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's letmeboreyou.com. Letmeboreyou.com. Now, what I'm intending to do, basically you can go on there, all the latest Let Me Bore You to Sleep podcasts are on there. I'd like to have a bit of interaction going where you can send me messages or things to read out by going to that podcast, to go into that website. It just makes it a little bit easier. Also, any comments you leave me in other places will probably come up on that website as well. So I think I've got my glasses on now. It's because I need glasses, but these, right, are identical to the ones that I normally wear, but they're clear. They're not smudged. They're not cracked. Well, the others aren't cracked, but they're not scratched or anything, because when I got my glasses, there was a special offer, 2 for 1. So I got identical pair. So those other ones are now permanently smudged. I can't seem to get them to be clean. These are exactly identical, but they're clear. Which is kind of what you need from glasses, to be able to see, Anyway, so, hello. This video may be a little bit different from previous Let Me Bore You to Sleep videos. It depends on how I edit it. You'll see what I mean. You might see what I mean. You might not. It might just be exactly the same, word for word. So, he's behaving himself. I don't like putting him into the bedroom on his own, he doesn't like it. He likes being in the bedroom on his own when the door's open. But when the door's closed, he's not a big fan. He's not. Unless I gave him a bag of his favourite treats, then, you know, he's a happy little girl. Ain't ya? So what's been happening? What has been happening? Well, I've been trying to figure out where to go with this podcast thingy that I do. The different podcasts, and just not sure where to go. And about a week ago, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I lose track of time, I deleted nearly all of my videos from YouTube. And then I regretted it, and I regret it, whatever the right word is. So I've been re-uploading those videos, and I lost subscribers while I was uploading them, and then I started gaining more subscribers. And now, I did gain a new subscriber today. I've now got 1,007 subscribers on YouTube, but literally hardly anybody is actually watching the videos. When before I was starting to gain a bit of traction. So by deleting them all and then uploading them all, I've kind of messed things up for myself a bit. Yeah. So, oh well. Never mind. So I haven't done that with the podcasts. So it's just, oh, that's weird. That's like sticky on my trousers. Yeah, so I just been doing that, and really I need to spend less time on YouTube, focusing on YouTube, unless I'm making videos and podcasts at the same time. Then that's a different thing. So if, for example, this is a Let Me Bore You to Sleep, this will be available on my podcasts as well as on YouTube, but predominantly this is a podcast, and I'm just filming it. I'm filming myself recording it, as it were. With most of the videos on YouTube now, they are podcast episodes that I have converted into YouTube videos by adding background images and, you know, waterfalls and spirals and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's a different kind of thing. Now, I could still do that, but I might not. I might just do this. Make recordings, film them, record them, and do the minimum amount of video editing. And by the way, if you are listening on the podcast and you want to see how funny and old I've got, check out the video, because if you used to follow me in the past, like my previous YouTube life, you remember that I often had a beard, but it wasn't grey. Might have had a few little grey bits. Basically, my ginger bits went grey first, which were like the side bits. Well, my chin is pretty much entirely grey, pretty much. There's a few dark bits there. Like the moustache area is pretty much grey, and I've still got a bit of dark on the cheeks, but it's not good. So if you fancy a laugh, just check out the video. It's always something you can mock me. You can mock me. It's weird. I didn't really think about going grey. No, that's a lie. I thought about nothing else. No, that's a lie. Back in, I think probably when I was 29, so this would be about 1999, maybe 98 when I was 28, I noticed the odd grey, a little bit of grey. The odd one. It was kind of it's like, you know, when you're growing up and you get a little bit of hair under your arm and you're showing everyone, or on your top lip and you're showing everyone there. You said, I've got a moustache now, and they said, no, can't see it. So look, it's there. You're like 11 or 12, like, everyone look, there's a moustache. I'm like, nope, I can't see anything. Like, just play the game. Just tell me I've got a moustache. I look like Magnum PC. That's PC. And like, no, tell me I look like Hulk Hogan. I've got a big... No, you don't. It's like, oh. So that's kind of what that was. The grey hairs, they weren't really grey. They were a little bit grey, the odd white one. But it wasn't grey, you know? It was like... It was a different colour to the rest of my hair. But I've always kind of had dark hair, but I've had ginger mixed in. So I didn't realise, really, that I had ginger in my hair until I was able to grow a beard. And most of my beard was ginger. There was dark in there, but it was mainly a hell of a lot of ginger in my beard. And not like bright red ginger, but ginger, you know. I've got the ginger gene in my family. I mean, I was thinking about this, literally... 3 of my cousins have got ginger children. 3 different cousins. I mean, it's like, what's the chances of that? But the ginger gene seems to have come... Well, I know where it comes from. Well, not originally. I mean, I've got to go back to Noah's Ark for that, I guess. One of the ginger horses. But I met my uncle, and it was my nan's brother. And he used to come and visit my nan and stay over sometimes at Christmas, and I'd be there as well. And he was in his mid-80s, late 80s, something like that. So he was quite balding, white hair, very stocky. Big bloke, and it's my dad is turning into him. Because I never realised, why is my dad so big? Yeah, all his brothers and sisters are slim. They're all slim and tall. Yet my dad's not short, but he's taller than me, but he's not 6, I think he's like 5'10", maybe. I think he used to be 5'11", but he's shrunk because he's so old. And... Don't tell him I said that. But he's big. He's a big bloke. Big, strong. And all his brothers and sisters, like, very slim. But all, not the girls, but the boys, girls. The men they're all like 6'3" plus, like his brothers. But their kids are about 6'6", 6'7". So I don't know how tall their kids are going to be. They'll be 9 foot tall. So there's that tall gene that I don't have. Why did I have to have the ginger gene but not the tall gene? It's not fair. But I got no issue with ginger because obviously I've got ginger. I did have ginger. I've still got a few gingers somewhere, but not so much on my head. And my uncle, he's no longer here, my nan's brother, I never realised, because he had kind of like quite, not ginger skin, I know it was right, but quite yeah, he had like freckles, and I used to have a lot of freckles when I was a kid. And I thought, No, I saw a picture of him when he was younger. Proper ginger. He was like ginger hair. But I think he was one of the only ones out of about 15 kids that had ginger hair. Maybe 2 had. And I suppose if you have enough kids, you're going to get one of everything, aren't you? Eventually, you're going to get ginger hair. You get an albino. You get someone with 3 legs. You know what I mean? I suppose I'm not saying that albino. You get a Boris Johnson. I don't know. It's a mixture. You're going to get different things. So my dad is, as he's getting older, I realise, because why is he so big? That was my question. Why was he so big when my nan and granddad weren't big? Both of them were slim and not particularly tall. Yet all of his brothers and sisters are fairly tall, and he's not short, but he's not tall, but he's stocky. And then I met my Uncle Anthony, and there it is, that's just him. It's like my dad, but in 30 years' time. This is like 20 years ago, so my dad's not quite got to that age yet. My dad's not 80 yet, but he's getting there. I think he's about 78. So he's still got another 10 years before he's the age that my uncle was when I not first saw him, but when I first kind of got to spend time with him. I didn't really see him during my 20s. It was during my 30s that I really got to know him a little bit. And it was just kind of funny, because, you know, I used to think, I didn't say it to my nan, but I said, have you got any pictures of the milkman when you was younger, before my dad was born, you know, maybe 9-10 months before? Did you got any pictures of the postman at that time? Just and she said she didn't really understand why he was so much bigger than the others, because even at school he was 14.5 stone at school, like a 13-14 year old. 14.5 stone, which is nearly 100. It was not 100 kilos. Was it 90 kilos or something? Which is, and this is without any fat. This is like just body muscle and whatever. I'm picking up my dad today, aren't I? That's weird. But just seemed weird that because I was skinny. I was really, really skinny when I was younger. Not so much now. In fact, I've actually had these books are 4 times bigger than they normally are. I've got them enlarged just so it makes me look smaller, because I'm actually the size of a house. I'm not. Why did I say that? I'm not. A small bungalow. A bungalow. Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out what's next, but does it matter? Really, does it matter? Just keep making recordings. It's about remembering why I started doing this to start with. Too many starts there, wasn't there? Why did I start this initially? And it was just to help people. Why did I start? I mean, I'm talking back 2006 when I started doing recordings online. And I'm staring off into the distance because I'm remembering things. Oh, you know, I used to have a girlfriend once. It's been so long since I had a girlfriend. I mean, literally, like a proper girlfriend, someone that I saw more than once. Not more than once, but someone that I dated, like went out and done stuff with. outside was 2012. 2012 was the last time I actually went out on a date with someone. Like someone that lives in this country. And what's that? 11 years. I'm basically a virgin again. Everything's healed up. I don't think I've even got any hormones anymore. I don't think there's anything there. I didn't realise, but I think that they disappear with age. Unless it's just one of those things, if you don't use it, they just, like muscles. You know, if you don't use your muscles, they wither away or they become weaker or whatever. Maybe that's what's happened with my my hormones. I don't know. It could be. Also, I'm on medication for the bipolar, and that reduces my, I want to say the word urges, but that sounds a bit weird. Urges, because most of my urges involve chocolate and eating chocolate. So I'm so gluttonous. I don't know. No, it was tested last year, and I do still have the ability to muster up. I can still... Okay, let's use the analogy of I used to be in the Sea Cadets when I was a kid, and I still, when I want to, I still have the ability to stand to attention, using that analogy. Not necessarily for as long as I used to. You know, when I was 12, I used to be able to stand there for hours. I mean, there's a thing on Trafalgar Day was one of the big days of the biggest day of the year in the Sea Cadet timetable, and it was celebrating the Battle of Trafalgar. And I think we went to Trafalgar Square in London, and there was Sea Cadets from all over the country. And back in them days, there were no women or girls in the Sea Cadets. I think they called them, didn't they? They were the Wrens, weren't they? Females were Wrens. I think that's changed. I think that the Sea Cadets is both boys and girls now. Which, if it had been boys and girls then, I'd probably still be doing it, because I'd have wanted to be there if there was females there, because I get on better with females than I do with males. I kind of always have. As long as I'm not trying to be their boyfriend, women like me. As soon as I show an interest romantically, that's the end of that. But if I'm friends, I'm good at being friends with women. I have to sign a contract that I will stay in the friend zone, and that's all I'll ever be, is a friend. You know, literally a legal contract. There's a lawyer and everything there. I can't believe it's almost like, well, how does every woman I ever met have a lawyer at hand with this contract, with my name already written on it, printed? I don't know. Friend zone. But yeah, it's alright. I don't mind, because I like women. Not all women. Just like I don't like all men. Don't like all anything. But I don't know. Maybe I'm more in tune. I find women more interesting. Just like in interpersonal, conversations. I enjoy conversations with women. more than I pretty much ever have done with men. I mean, I've got some men friends, and I've had men friends that I've talked to and that, but I've rarely had any male friends that I could, not many, I've had a few, but I seem to get on better with a group of women than I do with a group of men. In fact, that might not be the case anymore, because I've been so living this lifestyle that I don't really see anybody hardly, apart from dog walkers. Not doggers, dog walkers. And I don't know if I've got those communication skills anymore to talk to somebody and to be able to pretend to be interested in what they're saying. I used to be able to do that. I learned to do it. It took years to realise that I couldn't just talk at people about what I was interested in, and other people wouldn't want to listen. Some people would be kind enough just to stand there and listen, and some people would enjoy listening. Some people just liked me and they kind of tolerated me. But then I kind of learnt about communication, and when I got to my 30s, late 20s, and I started to change. And then I worked in call centres, talking to people on the phone all day long, every day, and I learnt how to talk to people in a more adult way, possibly, like, you know, to and fro, etc. But the reality is, I just want to just talk about me, and I don't think many people are that honest. Just like, I just want to talk about my life, and I know I get a chance to do that here. I'd rather just talk at people, talk at them. Although sometimes somebody will say something that really grabs my attention. And they'll say something like, wow, and it really, like, piques, it gets my interest direct, you know? And I'm thinking, oh, my ears are like wiggling, like, tell me more. And it doesn't happen that often. But when it does happen, I enjoy that, because it's exciting. It's exciting to be interested in someone else. Genuinely interested. Not just like interested in a sense of, well, I care about the person, I'm going to listen, and, you know, but like interested in a... I don't know, just interested. Something that maybe I can learn from. Maybe it connects to something that I'm already interested in, and this gives me an opportunity to divulge or dive into that big, deep blancmange. I've got no idea what that was about. Deep blancmange. I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know what blancmange is. Now, it's horrible. Absolutely. I don't even know if it still exists. When I was a kid, it used to be a dessert, and it was it was kind of like custard, rice pudding, kind of a mixture of... Bleh. Now, I never liked custard. I never liked blancmange. And there's another one that had these little eyes. These little, they weren't actual eyes, but they were little beads in them. Not glaucomoni. I forget the name of it. It was, hated them. But I love rice pudding. Love rice pudding. Not the skin. Keep the skin away from me. Don't want the skin. I can understand why some people don't like skin. It's like, before you bring that rice pudding to me, get it circumcised. I don't want it near me until the skin's gone. You let it. But rice pudding, especially homemade rice pudding, which I haven't had probably for 30 odd years. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. I can't remember the last time I had rice pudding that was homemade. I've had rice puddings like, from the shop in little cartons and that is like, that you can pull a thing off and put them in a microwave, or you can just eat them cold. I went through a little period where I was eating a lot of rice pudding. Now, that's not the most boring story I've ever told. It's also not the most exciting story I've ever told. I don't think there's one person listening to this thinking, yeah, and then what happened? So you used to eat a lot of rice pudding. Tell us, can you expand upon that, please? This is gold dust. No, I don't think anyone's thinking that. So, thank you for those that have left messages. I know that when I go off the grid a little bit for too long, some of my listeners, especially to the Let Me Bore You to Sleep podcast, which this is, but this will also be on other podcasts as well. But those that like these podcasts tend to notice when I'm not around, if I go a week or so without making a new recording. And I start to get messages, and I've had a few messages. So thank you. Thank you for your concern. I'm okay. I get very focused on one thing, and it's hard to... I know there's the old cliche that men can't multitask. It's not that we can't multitask, we just choose to do things properly. I'm not the best juggler, to be honest. I like to focus on just one thing. It's not in so much that I like to focus on one thing, is I don't necessarily have the ability to do more than one thing. So, hence, you can't multitask. No, it's not. Well, maybe. See, if I was just doing something simple like uploading recordings to a podcast and just waiting and doing, putting in titles and stuff like that. Very simple process. And I had someone sitting over there, even if they weren't talking to me and they were maybe playing with the dogs, I'm distracted by that. And I struggle to focus on what I'm doing because my attention is being strained and pulled, not by the person, by my attention is doing it. So like I'm a bit overstimulated maybe. Just like with him down there, he's playing, eating his bone and that, and it's taken me a while to get used to that again, because I used to have Andre doing stuff like that and making noise in the background, and I got used to that. It took a while, but I got used to it after a while. And then I had a year and a half without anyone here. And then suddenly he's here in December. And I'm just telling you, it's not distracting me, but I'm talking about him, which clearly he is distracting me, but not in a bad way. I like him there. I spend pretty much 24 hours a day with a little bugger. You know what he started to do? Because I sleep on my side. I've got, not alopecia. What's it called? I basically choke. I stop breathing when I'm asleep. I forget what it's called. So I can't lay on my back. So I have to lie on my side, because otherwise it could be bye-bye. So I lie on my side and then lie on my other side. And what he does is he started lying on my side, on the top of me. As long as I don't touch him, he's happy. If I touch him, he'll move off. Run off. You're not my real dad. And just run off. He's a naughty boy. But if I just leave him alone, he'll lie there and he'll lick my arm and lick my hand and he'll just cuddle up to me. And I think part of the reason that is because it stops me from rolling over. Another thing he seems to do, and I'm not saying he does this purposely, and I know we do attribute human qualities onto animals and that, but when I face the wall, he quite often, has done for quite a few months, as soon as he thinks I'm asleep, he crawls slowly and lays down behind me, like where my back is, my back and my neck, kind of that area. And he snuggles in. So I couldn't lay over. If I did, I'd squash him, but I guess instinctively don't lay onto I don't lay onto my back, so is that my back, not my front? You know what I mean, so that my front's facing up. So it's almost like he's keeping me safe, kind of, in a way. It's weird. I do have a mask to wear. And I said to him, I was saying to the doctor, will this help with the breathing and the snoring and stuff? He said, no, but it'll stop you scaring people when you go out. So I'm not. It's rude. It's rude. I'm not going to be wearing a mask when I go out. That's before the days when we used to have to wear masks, obviously. Which is quite funny, really, if you think about it. In 2019, there was a big hoo-ha trying to ban face coverings. Like, people, the public, politicians, all kinds of people were trying to ban face coverings. In some parts of the world, they were really being stringent on it. You cannot wear a face covering on the beach or in public because, as it is, you generally can't. You weren't allowed to walk into a bank with a helmet on your head, a bicycle helmet, and some office people, they'll have signs saying take your helmet off, even if you're delivering parcels, because they need to see who you are, just for the security cameras. So there's a whole thing, and it reached towards people that were wearing face coverings for religious reasons. So it was kind of a way to have a go at them, I guess. So there's this big uproar. And then 3 months later, everyone was wearing masks in public. And it's almost like they'd forgotten that. The people that were all angry, they didn't seem to care so much. They seem to have forgotten that particular bugbear. And since we've been able to not have to wear those things anymore, it's kind of gone away, but no one seems to mention it anymore. No one seems to mention he's wearing a mask, because some people still wear masks. Like, I think in China, or in the Orient, it's natural if someone's got a bit of a cold or whatever, or because of the pollution, to wear a mask. So you'll see people, not everyone, but you will see people walking down the street with a mask on. You don't see that so much around here now, not that I go out that much, but I still have seen people with masks walking down the street, going into the petrol station, maybe because they've got a cold, or just out of respect for other people. and no one cares anymore. Now, if you'd have done that in 2019, walked into a petrol station wearing a mask, just like a face covering, like during 2020 and 21, everyone would have stared. So what I'm hoping is next year something happens where we can all walk around in just our underpants. We're not allowed to wear trousers. Because then when that situation's sorted and we can wear trousers again, I'll be able to go around without trousers on and no one will stare at me anymore. I'll just be like, I won't be out of the ordinary. Underpant man. Yeah. I've got a new little friend joining me tomorrow. I'll talk about it tomorrow when I do it. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, and it's a bit silly fun. But I've ordered it online and it's coming tomorrow. And it's it's basically you'll see or hear. I might make a video. I might just do an audio, just do an audio of it. But it'll be tomorrow, or the day after, or next week. It'll be and I'll introduce this character, person, thing, item, whatever you want to call it, to the show. Because I can't rely on this little thing down there because he doesn't want to be on camera. He made it very, very clear. And it's a shame because I reckon he'd be quite popular. People might watch just to see him. Saying that, I've actually got some footage of him in the park. And that was quite cool. I filmed him. Got to be a little bit careful though, filming in a park. But there was kids playing football and stuff, and I made sure that I just made sure none of them saw me filming them. No, I made sure that the camera was pointed at Vinny the whole time, because I imagine if I had kids and I saw some bloke with a camera and hiding in the bushes. I wasn't hiding in the bushes. I just happened to have lost my ball, and it took me an hour to get it. No, I wasn't. None of that happened. Hiding up a tree. No, I've never. I can't even get up a tree. How could I get up a tree? To start with, I'm the size of a tree. I'm as wide as a tree. I can't climb up a tree. And is it me, or the branches are a lot higher up than they used to be? When I was a kid, I used to be able to get up trees. And I was only about 2 foot tall. When I left school, I was 2 foot tall. I was very little. I was like little. But now, I'm about pretty nearly 7 foot now, I guess. I can't even reach a branch, apart from the ones I can reach. Like those I can reach, but I can't reach the others that are too high up. And the ones I can reach are not. They're almost like they're from higher up, and the gravity has pulled them down. Does that make sense? I think so. So only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Did I say that? So I try to feel what else has happened. Not a lot else has happened really. And just doing my thing, growing my beard. This is going to get longer. It's going to get longer and smellier as time goes by. I don't mean during the actual recording, but it might have grown a bit during the recording. I don't know. Not quite sure how the science is for that stuff. However, I I'm thinking of growing it like really long, like that. Just kind of as a joke. I don't know who on. I don't know. It just seems like something I quite like doing that. It's another thing I quite like to do. Every now and then I shave my head. I shave everything off. And when it gets, sometimes I let it grow long. Not long, but, too long to be acceptable in public. But what I do is I shave part of it off. And I put like a comb over, so I make myself a comb over, so it looks like I'm bald, but with hair, and combing it over, which is true. But I've caused myself to be bald, and I did that a couple of years ago, and my friend refused to leave the house with me. He said no. I said, "Oh, it's funny." He said no, refused. Just point blank refused. Another time, I made my moustache into, I won't say the word, but I made it into I shaved my beard off and my moustache. I had my hair and I basically combed it over. It wasn't a comb over, it was like just normal hair, but I kind of, not greased it, but made it kind of go over, down a little bit. And I made my moustache, designed it into a moustache that was very popular in the 40s, like in the late 30s, in the 30s kind of time. So I had that moustache, and I remember I knocked on my friend's door downstairs, the same friend, and I said, "Oh, we had to call an ambulance or something like that." And I said, "Oh, they'll be here soon." I said, "Well," he said, "You know what you need to do before the ambulance get here?" I said, "What?" So "You need to shave that moustache off, because they won't want to talk to you if you look like that." It's like, really? But saying that, I did see somebody with a similar moustache back in 2000 and... Blimey. 2012 maybe? 2011, 12, 10? Walking down the street. And it did look a little bit... the hair was the same. Same costume. So yeah, it was like, that was a bit weird. But it was London, so London, you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff, because if you walk down the street dressed as a character that's not very popular from history, for example, chances are people will just almost pretend to ignore you, pretend not to see you. Which might seem weird if you live in a small town, but in London, which I imagine it's kind of similar in places like New York or in the city areas around the world, where there's lots of different types of people, and the world is a much faster place in the cities than in towns or in villages. It kind of, just sort of the way it seems to be anyway here. From my experience, it doesn't mean that it's true, but I'm determined to believe it's true. But it might not be. It might be a lie, but I don't believe it's a lie. It could be partially true. I'm not sure. So yeah, what was the point in what I was saying then? What was I even talking about? I feel like I go to bed. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I wanna go asleep. So tired. What's he doing? Oh, now he's gonna hassle me now. Are you gonna moan and whine? That's what he does. Like a seal. He's like a seal. He is a seal. Listen to it, listen. Oh, he was doing it then. What is it? What is it, lassie? What is it? Is Flipper trapped? Flipper's trapped again, is he? Was Flipper a boy or a girl? Do anyone remember Flipper? His name is Flipper, Flipper, father the lightning, and I can see, and better than he. His name is Flipper. Is that the right? Da 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 da. I think that's the tune. His name is Flipper, Flipper, Flipper. A dolphin. I used to watch it in 1986. Used to watch it on a Saturday morning with my little brother who was 8. And we used to watch it before I went to work in the chip shop. And that was the highlight of my day. Well, it was a highlight of my week, really. Watching Flipper. And I think Saturday Wide Awake Club. We're wide awake. It's good to say you're ready. Well, it's wide awake. Let's get go. It's good to do. No school today, so what you gonna do? Gonna do. Wide awake. You don't let go. We're wide awake. Yeah, I used to like that. Wide Awake Club. But did the Wide Awake... I think it used to be on during the holidays as well. What? He's moaning at me. If I don't give him attention, he'll start barking. And that's just... slightly annoying. Slightly. What? What do you want? So you've had that, you've had your treats, and now you just want to hassle me. Are you David? David Hasselhoff, because you're hassling me. Anyway, I'm going to go then, because this little monkey has decided that I can no longer spend time with you. I have to leave. I have to take him into the park to do a poo or a wee-wee. So, it's annoying. Thing is, he probably doesn't even want to go out. He probably probably just wants to go downstairs and be with his friend. And you're not going to do that because you've already spent time with him today. And I need to do these recordings. I need to do something. It's all right for you. All right, I better go. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself because you deserve to be happy. Shh. Shh. Lots of love. Bye.